Hello and welcome to my Yu-Gi-Oh channel. So today we're covering cards that have been released from the anime of Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens. They haven't got an OCG or official release, but they've just been shown within the anime. Some of these cards will at some point be introduced, others just won't. That's just how these work. The first card is Cleanliness General Big Tidy. It's a level 7 water attribute warrior type effect monster with 1000 attack and 2600 defense. The requirement is during the turn this card is normal summoned. You can change this card's position to activate from attack position to face up defense position, or from defense position to face up attack position. And the effect is to send the top cards of both players' deck to the graveyard. If either of those cards is a monster, send all cards in your opponent's hand to the graveyard. Then your opponent draws cards equal to the number of cards sent to the graveyard by this effect. I love the design and the effect of this card. I think it's amazing. Just from changing its battle mode. I mean, so you normal summon it and then switch it to defense position. Obviously, it's got 2600 defense, so not a lot is going to be able to get through it. You can completely reset what your opponent's hand is. If they had a good hand and you get rid of it, it's like using card destruction, but better because you're not having to use a spell to activate. That means the thing is it's more responsive, and you're going to be able to recover this card and use it more frequently. The downside of this card is your opponent might get rid of some good cards. It might get rid of just trash cards. You just don't know what they're running. It might not make that much of a difference. They might think, I couldn't care about these cards anyway, and force them to actually draw into decent cards. That's the big downside of it. The other thing is it doesn't have many attack points, so it's not going to be the attack threat that your opponent is going to have to look out for. The next card is the Bridge on the River Clean. Very good. Clean, tidy. Very good. Very funny. Konami loves its puns. It's a normal spell card. The requirement is to send the top card of the deck to the graveyard. And the effect is both players draw one card, then reveal that card. If the card is a monster, you can special summon that monster to your field in face-up defense position. Okay, so this is a draw card from what I can understand, and potentially it lets you special summon a monster. That's okay, depending on what you get. If you get the boss monster that you had before, which is Big Tidy, that could be good. If you get in a weak monster, or if you don't get into a monster, then the effect of this card is a bit of a waste. The cost on it is really minimal. Sending the top card of the deck to the graveyard isn't a big issue. It's a very easy condition to meet. And the final card is Dragonic Disorder. It's a normal trap card with the effect requirement: when your opponent normal summons a monster that's level 7 or higher, you can send one normal monster, it must be a dragon type, from your hand to the graveyard, and the effect is to change that monster to face down defense position. This is basically Book of Moon in a trap form for the for dragon types, basically. It's an okay effect, and I suppose it was used in the anime to respond to Big Tidy being able to use its effect. How viable this will be is questionable, because it does rely on you having dragon-type monsters in your hand to begin with, and it also relies on your opponent having level 7 or higher monsters being normal summoned that very turn. So if you draw into this card too late and your opponent has level 7 or higher monsters already established on their board, this is a wasted card drawn. If this had been a bit more flexible and hadn't got the level conditions on it, then I could consider using it. But for the time being, it just looks to be a very dragon type orientated support card. And I know dragons are one of the most supported types out there already. It seems that isn't going to be changing anytime soon. So what do you guys think of these cards? Do you like any of them? Is there anything you think is good or bad? Whatever you think, leave those comments down below. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe for more daily Yu-Gi-Oh content.